What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Player CJ. Today we're going to talk about Mark Recchi and why Rex, in my opinion, should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Obviously, I won't be eligible till um, like 2015, but we're going to talk about that. But Rex is a player that to me is more than just numbers. To go by the numbers, he retired with 577 goals, 956 assists, and 1,533 points in 1,652 games. You know, great numbers all around. Played a ton of games. Won 3 Stanley Cups. 91 with Pittsburgh, '06 with the Carolina Hurricanes, and last year with the Bees, obviously. It was a key part. And like I said, his numbers, especially at, what was he, 43 last year and then won it? Yeah, 43. Wow. He was an old man. 48 points in 81 games is good. I think he was third or fourth on the Bees in scoring. 14 points in 25 playoff games. Fifth in scoring for the Bees. But he's a guy that his mentor role, so to speak. You look at the way he mentored Sagan and Marchand, the way he helped mold Bergeron into the complete two-way player that he is. Bergeron was a good player before Recchi got there, and then Recchi showed. You can just tell how much better his game has been since he played with Mark Recchi. You look at Tampa Bay with Stamkos. He played with Stamkos his rookie year. Even go to Pittsburgh. They're great young players, and Crosby, Stahl, and Malkin. He helped mold them into Eric Stahl in Carolina. His mentorship really, made great young players what they are today. And I look at the Carolina team he was on. Rental player at the deadline, got him from Pittsburgh, and he was a key part of Carolina going on to win the Stanley Cup at 16 points in 25 playoff games on a very, very deep Canes team. And everywhere he goes, he just does the little things, and I'm really, I think maybe his numbers aren't up there, maybe like a Brett Hull of sorts, but his contributions to the game of hockey go far beyond just statistics. I think if you just sit there and analyze the statistics all day, it's like, you got to put a face with what he's done. And you look at he was with Mario, Kevin Stevens, Yager, all those guys in the early '90s. Plays with Sid and Malkin in the 2000s, and then ends his career winning Game 7 of the Stanley Cup with the Boston Bruins, and helped Pittsburgh win their first Stanley Cup. The Hurricanes Whalers organization won their first Stanley Cup, and then the Bruins win their first Stanley Cup in a long time. 40 some odd years. It's like, wow, that's 39 years for the Bruins. My math is never that good. It's never been great, obviously, but I love Rex. I loved the passion he had for the game, and you know, I think he'd be a great coach. But part of me wants to just see him retire and enjoy retirement. What he gave to the game of hockey can't be understated. No, I don't think the Bruins would have won the Stanley Cup without him. He had a pretty much a series long drought against Tampa and Philly, but played well in the finals. And I loved what he said when he was in Boston for the banner ceremony. He was on sports radio, and he said, I've never played against a more arrogant team than Vancouver, and to beat them was outstanding. He really hated Vancouver. When Burroughs bit Bergeron's finger and he put the finger right in was it Lapierre's mouth. I loved that. He's a junkyard dog, and he always scored goals around the net. Wasn't the biggest guy, wasn't the Cam Neely or the Malnucci, so to speak, out there where his big frame helped him in front of the net. He relied on hockey IQ, high hockey IQ, and just unbelievable offensive instincts to put the pucks in the net. And he was great at that. He scored in the Winter Classic for the Bees. I remember that. I loved that. A nice little tip in front. And I don't know what else there is to say about Recchi. Go over his career highs with them. I think he had 50 goals once with the Flyers, and 92, 93, 53 goals. And then his most assists in a season was, I think that same year he had 70 assists for Philly. Oh no, he had 73 assists the year Pittsburgh won the Cup. He had in '91 113 points in 78 games, and 34 points in 24 playoff games. Now, got to take that with a grain of salt because back then, excuse me, everyone was scoring 100 points. Not everyone, but And I think he outscored Mario that year, even though Mario was injured. Yeah, him and Mario only played in 26 games and still had 45 points, which is otherworldly. You think about it. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. Played for Montreal, was very good in Montreal for a couple of years. Bounced around 2 stints with Philly, 2 stints, 3 stints with Pittsburgh. Obviously, got traded for the deadline, and then was in Atlanta for a year. Wasn't that good in Atlanta, and ultimately ended up in the Bees after a small stint in Tampa. And I think it's like I said, he helped mold Stamkos and him and Gary Roberts. Roberts probably had a little bit more of an impact than Rex did, but Rex's impact can't be understated. And I love what he's done for hockey. I loved watching him play, and he was just one of my favorite players to play for the Bruins. I really thought they made a great deal getting him that year from Tampa, and they didn't win the cup his first year he was there. They blew the game, and that series to Philly, they lost game 4 in OT. They could have swept them and not got knocked out. When Gagne DOT won it, he scored. He tied the game with under a minute left. At 42 years old, he's tying NHL playoff games. I mean, that's pretty good. And then ultimately, his last year, he won the Stanley Cup. He just kept coming back because he wanted to win it. And he was a fan favorite here in Boston. And I can't even say we miss him because we got one of the best records in hockey. But plays like that, you can see where his influence has been felt with the younger players on that team, and what he's helped do to them. And I think Bergeron's going to end up being a player like that. He's 26 years old now, and 14, 15 years when he's a Mark Recchi of sorts. Hopefully he plays his whole career as a Bruin, but you never know with player personality. And he's a player like that. And I think he really is. I think Recchi's influence on Bergeron will affect Bergeron the rest of his NHL career. And he's helped Bergeron, like I said, play some of the best hockey of his career. I don't know what else there's to say, but like I said, Mark Recchi better be a first ballot Hall of Famer for his contributions to the game of hockey on and off the ice, and directly and indirectly to the play of other players. That's it for this episode of Power Play with CJ. Why Mark Recchi is a Hall of Famer. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season. Later, guys.